please hit that subscribe button. Hey everybody, better suited to win the Stanley Cup this season. If you are new to the channel, Washington Capitals, the Boston Bruins.
Locked on and he scored! And we're live.
Hey everybody, we're back again for another off-season recap video, and today we're going to be looking at the Buffalo Sabres. Buffalo is always a really interesting team to look at, especially with this offseason landing the biggest fish in the sea with Taylor Hall, also making a great trade for Eric Staal as well, trying to improve this team and get themselves into the playoffs for the first time since 2011, which is the longest playoff drought currently in the NHL. So we won't find out until next season just how much better they've made themselves, but they certainly have gone out and made some moves this offseason. So before I fully get into it, I just ask that you please hit that subscribe button if you're new. Give this video a thumbs up if you haven't yet. Both of those things help out a lot and are much appreciated. Now, normally I talk here and go over all the offseason moves, but I'm joined today by Buffalo SportsCenter, who did a tremendous job of going through everything major that Buffalo has done this offseason. So I'm going to hand things over right to Buffalo SC. And take it away, my friend.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Buffalo Sabres, a team which I hold close to my heart, made some interesting moves this offseason. The most obvious one was when they, of course, traded center Marcus Johansson to the Minnesota Wild for aging star Eric Staal in return. This was an obvious win for new GM Kevyn Adams. Eric Staal has been the more consistent and offensively potent center than Marcus Johansson over the past couple of seasons. As we continued our offseason, the draft came and went for the Sabres, in which the Sabres drafted Jack Quinn over Marco Rossi, JJ Peterka, Matteo Constantini, Albert Leixen, and Jakub Konechny. This showed a shift in creating a good offensive prospect pipeline for the Sabres in the upcoming seasons. Next up was free agency, where the Sabres snagged depth forwards in Tobias Rieder and Coda Eakin, both of whom were brought in to fix an atrocious penalty kill, a penalty kill which ranked in the bottom 2 last season. Defenseman Matt Ern was also signed as some extra depth on the back end, and Brandon Montour and Max Gergensons were both brought back after much speculation about both of their futures with the team. However, arguably, the most shocking and surprising signing was not yet announced. The news came that Sunday afternoon after free agency began, when left wing Taylor Hall, yes, that's right, Taylor Hall, former league MVP, signed a 1-year, $8 million deal with the Buffalo Sabres. This came as a shock to almost everybody in the hockey world, and in that it also included Sabres fans. After it seemed like the dust had settled on the Sabres' free agency moves, they looked to re-sign some of their final and most important restricted free agents. That included Victor Olofsson, Sam Reinhart, and Linus Ullmark. They re-signed forward Victor Olofsson to a 2-year deal, Sam Reinhart to a 1-year deal, and goalie Linus Ullmark to another 1-year deal. This sets the stage for another important free agency, which will probably come in the summer of 2021. It was found out in later weeks that Sam Reinhart and even Taylor Hall both wanted long-term deals with the Sabres. It just wasn't happening for first-year GM Kevyn Adams. He was not going to make the same mistake that his predecessors made before him, and that was overcommitting in free agency. Cough Kyle Poso, cough Cody Hawks, and cough Ville Leno. God, I gotta just get that out of my system. Anyways, it seems as though the Sabres have slightly improved this offseason. Whether or not it will be enough for them to make the playoffs after a 9-year playoff drought, that remains to be seen. I will now hand things back over to Off the Wall Hockey.
Thank you so much to Buffalo SportsCenter for coming on the video. Really appreciate it. Link to his channel will be down in the description as always. Please check out his channel and give him some support for some great Sabres content. So, yeah, I mean, Buffalo's made some moves this offseason. Obviously, Taylor Hall is the biggest one. That Eric Staal trade, I think, has a huge impact on that team as well. And Buffalo is an improved team heading into next season. They haven't gone out and done anything dumb. Jeff Skinner. They haven't done any contracts like that. They've just given short-term deals. They're fine salary cap wise, and they've brought in guys that make the team better. I still have questions about this team and their ability to make the playoffs because of the division that they play in, and two, I still have questions about their defense and goaltending. I like Linus Ullmark, but the Carter Hutton experiment has been a complete failure so far with Buffalo, and I don't see that just drastically changing next season. And Ullmark is a guy I think would be very solid in a 1A, 1B type situation, but I don't think he's the kind of goaltender that's going to come out and play 2/3 of the season and be a workhorse starting goaltender and just light it up and be a top 10 goalie. I just don't think that's Linus Ullmark's game. He's solid, but I don't think he's anywhere near the top 10 in the league or anything like that. In their defense, I mean, they're still relying on a guy like Rasmus Ristolainen way too much. And they really don't have that elite high-end defenseman. They've got Rasmus Dahlin, who's had a really good couple of years in the league, but is still very, very young. And they don't really have much around him that's really top pair-like talent. They've got a lot of defensemen in that lineup who I think are best suited in a 5-6 role, and a couple guys I think that you could play as a 3-4, but they don't really have that top pair talent outside of Rasmus Dahlin. So I still have questions about Buffalo, and with them being in a division, at least for now, with Boston and Tampa Bay and Toronto and even Montreal, who I think's gotten significantly better this offseason. I think it's going to be hard for the Sabres to finish ahead of any of those four teams. And with the Metro as strong as it is, we're looking at probably only 3 teams from the Atlantic making it anyway. Now, if the divisions realign, that could shake things up a little bit, and we'll have to kind of, reevaluate playoff chances for teams with the new divisions if they do change the divisions. But with the Atlantic Division as it is right now, I think it's going to be hard for Buffalo to make the postseason. But I do think they're certainly better than what they were last year, to say the least. And Taylor Hall and Eric Staal are both major improvements to that forward group and make them significantly better up front. So that's what I have on the Buffalo Sabres. Thanks again so much to Buffalo SportsCenter for coming on the channel and doing this video. He did a phenomenal job, so please give him some support. And like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon, merchandise store, and donation link are in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.